Boruto episode 35, the Parent-Teacher Conference. So this episode kind of picks up where the last episode left off. While that was sort of the emotional elements of us leaving the school and graduating and all the kids going their different paths, this episode takes Boruto and it's his story as far as what he wants to do as a ninja and what the other kids, want to do as well. So we get to see some of the kids, saying like, I'm going to be a ninja, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. The totally relevant characters are pretty much all the characters that are saying, I'm not going to be a ninja. So all the main characters are going to be ninjas. The characters that we've seen like twice are not going to be ninjas, so who cares? But it was an interesting little episode. I think I liked the last one a little bit more because I felt like it had a bit more weight to it. I thought this one would too, because it was going into the academic side and like the series clearly is about ninja and stuff. I felt like it could have gone a little deeper, like if they actually included Naruto in this episode with Boruto instead of, even though it was cool to see Naruto and Shikamaru because we haven't seen them in a minute. It would have been really awesome to actually see Boruto get the chance to talk with Naruto, even though that would kind of conflict with him, with Boruto always like hating his dad and not wanting to ever see him, but he would talk to him for sure, and I would have loved that. I think that would have had a greater impact on this episode, but everything that Boruto learned really came from his friends, and it was, them deciding that they want to be shinobi and stuff like that, and Sadara at the end of the episode helping one of the girls deciding, that she really does want to be a shinobi, but it was really her parents that didn't want her to be. So I was like, okay, it's still entertaining, getting to see those ideals from all the different characters and stuff, but I would have liked it a lot more if we did get to see Boruto have some sort of conflict as to what he wanted to do from the standpoint of Naruto, because he got it from Hinata, so I was glad that that was in there, because if he didn't talk to either of them, it would have been really weird. But, we at least got it with him talking to Hinata and her saying, like, basically her saying, like, I'd be cool if you're not a ninja, just, I want you to do what you want to do. It's a typical parent thing. And, even Boruto says himself, was like, sure, you can say that, but what does dad really know about me? Because she was kind of speaking for both of them. And it's like, what does he really even know about me? Like, how could he possibly say he just wants me to do this or wants me to be that when he hardly knows me? Like, he, once again, didn't show up. And I was like, it would have been really cool if we got to see that conversation where he has that moment with Hinata and he's having those thoughts. And then, somehow later in the episode, he does end up running into Naruto. And they do get to have that conversation. And Naruto asks him, like, hey, you are my son and you aren't sure what you want to do. And it's like, well, do you want to be a shinobi? Do you not want to be a shinobi? His main motivation initially was to become a shinobi, to surpass Naruto and hopefully have everyone see him as better than, being better than his dad. And I was like, okay, they could still even touch on that a little bit. Like, any conversation with Naruto, I think, would have made this episode a lot more impactful. But it was still decent. We got some cool stuff. Very surprise appearance by Orochimaru, which I actually thought was super awesome. They officially reveal in this episode that Orochimaru is Mitsuki's dad. So I'm glad I don't have to, like, kind of hide that out, even though I think most people watching this already knew that. But yeah, they officially announced, officially showed off in this episode that Orochimaru is Mitsuki's dad. So I was like, okay, glad that's out there. It was such a minor secret for them to kind of have that way, even though I know there are definitely some people who are, just starting with Boruto the series and they didn't read like the manga chapters, and they didn't, probably just never saw the movie and stuff. So those things did get revealed already, but it was cool. I was like, all right, that's officially in there as well. But I liked it. It was decent. Not too much, like I said, as far as like really serious content. It wasn't as much, even as compared to the last episode. It wasn't even the characters really interacting outside of Sada talking to the one girl. Other than that, it was just Boruto and this reporter who turns out to be Kakashi, which was actually kind of cool. And it makes sense why at the end of the episode when he was talking to Boruto, he was putting the scarf up, and I was like, why is he suddenly doing that? At the end of the episode now, as he's walking away, like clearly it's not cold. Otherwise, he would have had it that way before. But then he's lifting it up as he's talking, and I was like, that seems so weird to me. And then of course it cuts to him talking with Ruka, and he's he takes the little things off his scar and everything. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of the reference. Like, oh, here's a quick hint, even though they showed it like in the very next scene anyway, that it was Kakashi. I was like, okay, that makes sense now why he was like lifting the scarf up. But that was cool. I thought we were going to see Kakashi's face. I swear I thought they were going to show his face in this episode. But we find out that Kakashi is actually going to be going over as the basically the proctor for the graduation exams, or at least the physical portion of the graduation exams, where they talk about, there's the written portion and then there's the physical portion. And that should be exciting. It looks like, based on the promo, they actually went back to the Forest of Death, which I thought was pretty cool. And we actually see that Anko is going to get into the fight, which I thought was insane. And we actually see her use, like, the snakes and stuff, and I think she was chasing after Shikadai or whatever. And I was like, holy crap, we're going to get to see Anko actually in battle, which we haven't seen since the last time they showed the forest. So I thought that was actually super awesome, because she's one of those characters where I've always been like, man, I wish she was in the show more, because she was super cool. She should have been way more relevant to the series. Like, as a whole, Anko, like, even though, one of the big things is that Sakura never got as much respect as she deserved, which is totally true, Anko, I would have to say, is #1 for characters that didn't get the role they deserved in the series, because she was literally the first person that Orochimaru took under his wing and gave the curse mark to. It was like, this is the biggest thing in the universe. It's affecting the second most important character in the entire series, like right under Naruto, of course, is Sasuke. And yet, Anko only had like that one little moment where she was super relevant, and it's just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, she should have been way more relevant as far as everything that went on with Sasuke and Orochimaru and the curse mark and all that stuff. And it was just like, yeah, I got a curse mark, I can do the snake thing just like him. And that was pretty much it. And there's like a filler in like season 13 or something of the original series where there's like some flashbacks of an episode where she first got the curse mark, and that was pretty much it. And I was like, wow, that's a shame, because she totally should have been in the main series. But that's just a random thing. I've always thought she was like super underutilized, considering she had the curse mark, and that's like a huge deal. It's like the main point of the first chunk of the series is like this dark power from the main villain of the series at the time. And it's just like, how is a character that has that mark before one of the main characters not have way more relevance outside of that one single arc that she was in where they're doing the tuning exam? So it'll be good to see her in the action. That should be pretty fun to watch. Excited to see the action in general. I'm curious how that's going to play out, what Kakashi's going to do. Because the kids are a bit younger, and they're also not in the 3-man squads already, so it's like, and I think I've talked about this in my last review, but we're not at the tuning exams yet, so they don't have the 3-man squads, but they're basically still in elementary school, because they say middle school a lot. At least the subtitles I read, it was talking about going into middle school curriculum and stuff. So they're basically still in elementary, going into middle school, which is where they would eventually get to becoming the actual official 3-man squad. So it's so interesting watching this, where it's like, how tough is this going to be, knowing that they're going into the tuning exams and the 3-man squads and all that stuff. Like, how does that play out? I feel like we still don't have a clear answer, because the original series kind of just started off where it was like, I think episode 1 was as soon as they got to graduation and 3-man squads. That was the first episode, and it was just like, boom, episode 2, 3-man squads. So we're still building up to that point, but I assume that this is supposed to be that graduation, because they make a reference to Naruto where it's like, I heard before that if you knew how to do the substitution or transformation jutsu, you would instantly get a pass. So this is where they are. So after maybe this episode, or maybe after the next episode, or possibly 2 more episodes, they should be officially thrown into the 2-man squads, and we should be like, at this point, we should be 10 or less episodes away from being in the Boruto movie arc. Like, it shouldn't take 10 episodes from this point for us to already be in the Boruto movie arc. At least I don't think so. If they're doing the exam, they should automatically be thrown into the teams. Odds are they will kind of hold that off for a little bit and do like maybe a couple of random filler missions and stuff. But if I remember right, it's been a minute since I watched the Boruto movie. That starts with them actually going out on their very first mission. So it should be less than 10 episodes. We should also be seeing I can't even think of his freaking name right now. I can't even think of his name. The kid who was like not Boruto, Naruto's like dude that was always following him around with the scarf. I don't know why I can't think of his name for some reason. But he should be coming in really soon as well. Like, we saw him early on in the show, and we kind of haven't seen him since. But he should be coming back, because he becomes their squad leader. That's like a slight spoiler, but that might not even be permanent. They kind of showed that in the beginning of the movie, but then it was like the movie, so none of the actual normal stuff happened. So maybe that's not even the case. Maybe that was just one mission that they went on. I really don't know, because now that I think about it, it's like that didn't seem too official compared to how it's supposed to happen. But either way, I'm looking forward to the examination finally beginning, them going into graduation, however many episodes it'll take. I hope it's just paced out well, we get some good action, and we should be close. We're finally getting to those 3-man squads, getting to the Boruto movie arc, So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Excited to get into, once they get into that, I think I'll finally pick the manga back up. Because it'd be like, all right, I want to be ahead of, the series just to do my stuff. But, excuse me. I'm definitely looking forward to us finally getting to that point where it's like we're getting to the Boruto movie stuff, and then we'll officially be moving into the actual manga arcs, um, and kind of getting that content building up to that huge flashback in the first episode where it's like, holy crap, the village is destroyed. So, still gotta wait for all of that in the series, but I know they've been, releasing some big secrets and stuff. I don't know anything, fortunately, so eventually I'll get to reading all that and catching up and stuff. And I'll also be doing reviews for the manga once I eventually get back to it, because I'm still in the Boruto movie arc in the manga, which is exactly why I stopped reading. Because I was like, I want to read and review this, but it's just like, and I just stopped, and the show kicked in, so I just started watching. But this is a decent episode. Like I said, I personally enjoyed the last one more because it was really the kids interacting with each other and the emotions of that. And this was kind of just like, I don't know what I want to do. And it was just like, it was honestly like real life. Like people, it was almost like how serious it was for them as like really young kids. It was basically like people in college. It was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. That's how it felt watching this. And I was like, they're super young for this to be like so dramatic. It was like, I want to go into being a shinobi, or I want to go into this field or that field. And it was just interesting like how tense it was. And it was almost like they were in college, like they were full grown adults like me or something. Or I'm like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, like that sort of thing. So it seemed funny how serious it was and how close to real life it was, where it's like people not knowing what they want to do in college and stuff. But decent episode. Definitely looking forward to the next one a little bit more for sure. Fortunately, with my little, I got like a free month trial, so I will be having current updates as far as reviews. So that'll be really good, at least for the next 2 months. I should have updates because I got a free month right now, and then I have a $10 gift card, so that'll give me 2 full months of Boruto. So that should be pretty awesome. Hopefully, it's not wasted considering we're going into December, and even in Japan they do breaks around December. So I am looking forward to the next episode. But of course, we'd love to know what you guys thought about this one. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, your least favorite parts about it. And I would love to know just what you guys want to see from the graduation exams. Knowing that we're going to get Kakashi in there. We're going to have Anko in there. I can't wait to see them fight. I don't know what that's really going to mean. Because of course, they can't go like all out. Even Anko, even though she never really got to shine. I know that she's really powerful. I mean, she wouldn't be a teacher if she wasn't strong enough to truly fight and teach, and we got to see her do that at least a little bit, in the original series. So I'm excited to see her actually get back into the action. I know it won't happen, but I would love to see her actually get back into being like, or becoming a main character where she like fights a bunch and gets into the combat. But I don't think that's really going to happen. She's older than Shino is, so don't think that's really going to be happening. Plus, she's overweight at this point. Although that doesn't matter because you got Choji, so the weight thing clearly doesn't make a difference if you're a good shinobi. But like I said, want to know what you guys just want to see. Not even theories, just what you guys want to see from the graduation exam as far as characters fighting, who fights who does what. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.